Imagine waking up to the news that the President of the United States, one of the most protected, supported, and high-profile people on the planet, has just been diagnosed with aggressive, advanced prostate cancer. For a moment, the world gasps. If prostate cancer can strike even at the very top, what does it mean for the rest of us? How did we get here? And what does Biden's shocking diagnosis reveal about the invisible epidemic spreading through men's health everywhere? The reality is jarring. Prostate cancer is quietly claiming more lives each year, often out of sight, often too late. With President Joe Biden now in the global spotlight, his personal struggle is about to reshape the conversation on a disease that the world has long ignored. But behind his headline, behind the statistics and the science, lies a much deeper, much thornier story, one that's wrapped around groundbreaking technology, medical breakthroughs, unequal access, fierce policy battles, and the fate of millions of families. This isn't just about Biden, or even about America. It's a global reckoning. And the answers we find now will determine who lives and who gets left behind. So, why are advanced prostate cancer rates rising despite all our progress? Are emerging treatments and AI-powered diagnostics making a real difference? Or are they just hype? And why do so many men still lose the battle, simply because of where they live or the color of their skin? Let's dive deep. This is not just a politician's fight. It's personal, it's political, and it's a preview of the coming war between technology, medicine, and the economics of survival. To understand the urgency, let's start with a crash course on what prostate cancer really is, and why it's suddenly front-page news. Prostate cancer forms in the small gland that produces seminal fluid in men. While many cases progress slowly, some, like Biden's, are aggressive, advancing rapidly, and spreading to bones or other organs. And once prostate cancer metastasizes, it becomes a much more dangerous, complex disease. The statistics alone are enough to drop jaws. In the United States in 2021, there were nearly 250,000 new prostate cancer cases. About 70% were caught early, but alarmingly, around 8%, close to 19,000 men, were diagnosed only after the cancer had spread far beyond the prostate. Globally, the numbers are climbing, and over the last 5 years, researchers have observed a 7% increase in advanced stage diagnoses. Why is this happening, especially when science has supposedly never been more advanced? Joe Biden's diagnosis jolted public awareness for another reason. His cancer is described as aggressive and metastatic, but, thankfully, hormone-sensitive. That means therapies that lower or block testosterone, the fuel for these cancer cells, can still curb its growth. This offers hope, but also underscores how much luck and timing still matter. As Dr. Jay Raymond, a leading urologist at Penn State Health, puts it, while President Biden's diagnosis is serious, it's important to remember that even with metastatic disease, many men can live long and fulfilling lives with appropriate treatment and management. But here's the catch. Appropriate treatment is far from guaranteed. Even as the Biden administration's Cancer Moonshot initiative has funneled over $2.1 billion into research since 2022 alone, most global men don't have presidential access to the latest medicine, doctors, or technologies. And the stakes could not be higher, because behind every cancer diagnosis, there's a scramble for time, options, and hope. Let's rewind. Prostate cancer screening has long been a medical minefield. For decades, the PSA blood test, simple yet imperfect, was championed as the way to catch cancer early. Then came waves of controversy. Do screenings save enough lives to justify risking unnecessary biopsies, anxiety, and treatment side effects for slow-growing tumors that might never cause harm? Guidelines flip-flopped. Millions of men grew confused. Many just gave up on screening altogether. But today, the pendulum is swinging back, and fast. New imaging technology is changing the game. The European Association of Urology now recommends multiparametric MRI as the gold standard for detecting and mapping suspicious tumors. Liquid biopsies, blood tests that detect actual circulating tumor cells, are leaping from research labs to clinics, offering earlier, less invasive red flags for cancer's spread. A team from Johns Hopkins, for example, has engineered a liquid biopsy test they say could transform early intervention. To quote Dr. Howard Sohl of the Prostate Cancer Foundation, "The Biden Cancer Moonshot has provided critical momentum for prostate cancer research, accelerating the development of new diagnostics and treatments that are transforming patient care." There's an almost exhilarating sense that the science is finally catching up to the problem. Just last year, the FDA granted priority review to a groundbreaking radioligand therapy, targeting prostate-specific membrane antigen, or PSMA. This approach could selectively destroy cancer cells throughout the body, while largely sparing healthy tissue. Approval is anticipated soon, and experts like Dr. Maha Hussain of Northwestern University are optimistic. PSMA-targeted radioligand therapy is a promising new approach, offering the potential to selectively target and destroy cancer cells while minimizing side effects. Meanwhile, a new wave of precision medicine is hitting advanced cases. The combination of darolutamide with hormone therapy and chemotherapy vastly increases survival in men with metastatic disease. The PROPEL trial shook the field yet again. Pairing olaparib, a PARP inhibitor, with abiraterone improved outcomes for men with metastatic castration-resistant prostate cancer, regardless of whether they carry the notorious BRCA gene mutations. The PROPEL trial results are practice-changing, declares Dr. Alicia Morgans at Dana-Farber. This expands treatment options for a broader range of patients. Then there's the quiet revolution powered by artificial intelligence. Across several pilot studies, AI is tackling the most stubborn challenges, predicting which men are most at risk, spotting cancer earlier on MRIs, and even anticipating which tumors will respond best to each drug. The hope? That AI will blunt the randomness of cancer care and replace it with precision, speed, and personalization. Sounds like we're winning the war, right? Not so fast. For all the promise, there's a growing, uncomfortable reality. The gap between what's possible and what's actually happening is growing wider. Start with access. In the United States, African American men face a 52% higher risk of dying from prostate cancer than their white counterparts. Why? The causes are as complex as they are tragic. Less access to high-quality screening, later-stage diagnoses, and systemic inequalities in healthcare provision. Around the world, the disparities are even more shocking. In low- and middle-income countries, prostate cancer is often discovered only when it has spread widely, at which point expensive targeted therapies and novel imaging are simply out of reach. Dr. Charles Ryan of UCSF cuts to the core. The increasing incidence of advanced-stage prostate cancer highlights the urgent need to address disparities in screening and access to care, particularly for African American men. Even in wealthy countries, a man's odds are shaped by geography, education, and insurance status. Public awareness campaigns are struggling to keep up. Despite a recent push reminding men over 50 to talk with their doctors about screening, millions still avoid the topic out of fear, stigma, or misinformation. And here's where economics rears its head. While the Biden cancer moonshot has boosted U.S. research, global research funding remains a fraction of what's needed. Experts estimate that a 15% reduction in mortality is possible within a decade, but only if investments rise sharply. As Dr. Karen Knudsen of the American Cancer Society says, continued investment in prostate cancer research is crucial to developing more effective therapies and improving outcomes for all men. Meanwhile, on the front line, doctors and families are locked in wrenching decisions, especially when cutting-edge drugs cost tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars per patient per year. For many, these miracle medicines exist only on paper or in news headlines about presidents and billionaires. Lifestyle, too, plays its part, often underestimated, often ignored. There's mounting data that regular exercise and a diet high in fruits and vegetables doesn't just protect against initial cancer, but can even slow progression after diagnosis. Yet public health infrastructure to support such lifestyle changes lags far behind. Outside the hospital walls, AI, genomics, and nanotechnology offer dazzling glimpses of a future where screening is universal, treatment is tailored, and survival is the norm. The Biden family's journey, though steeped in privilege and opportunity, echoes the uncertainty faced by millions. Even with the world's best science at your fingertips, you can never fully control the path of cancer. So here we are. A world leader's diagnosis has sparked a flurry of investment, research, and hope. But for the average man, from New York to Nairobi to rural China, the reality is a daily struggle between access and deprivation, information and silence, hope and fear. And here's the truly unsettling question. If even with record-breaking funding, advanced technology, and public attention, we are still seeing more men diagnosed late, more men dying, and more disparities growing, where exactly is the system breaking down? Is the future of prostate cancer care destined to be a story of the haves and have-nots? Or is there a path for technology, policy, and medicine to finally close the gap for everyone? In the second half of our story, we'll pull back the curtain on the battle lines, the race for equitable access, the ethical dilemmas of expensive therapies, and the revolutionary, but sometimes risky, new frontiers of AI, genetics, and global health. But first we need to ask, are we actually ready to change the system, or are we simply building a new frontier that leaves millions behind? As we step into the future, Biden's diagnosis is more than just a headline. It's a beacon shining on the crossroads of technology, medicine, and society. The story has split into two possible paths, one of hope and one of warning. Imagine a world where early detection isn't a privilege but a norm, where liquid biopsy tests, like the groundbreaking one developed at Johns Hopkins, are as routine as blood pressure checks. With a simple vial of blood, circulating tumor cells could be detected months, even years, before symptoms appear. That's not science fiction. It's entering clinical trials now. If broadly implemented, this could mean a generation of men who never face late-stage prostate cancer. But here's the catch. These technologies remain expensive, and for now, available primarily to those in wealthy countries or with top-tier health insurance. Parallel to diagnostics, cutting-edge treatments are rewriting what's possible. Take darolutamide. When combined with traditional hormone therapy and chemotherapy, it has boosted survival even in men with metastatic disease. And the PROPEL trial's results are, as Dr. Alicia Morgans puts it, practice-changing. PARP inhibitors like olaparib combined with abiraterone now offer hope regardless of BRCA mutation status. The horizon looks even brighter with the FDA prioritizing new radioligand therapies, potentially available as soon as late 2025. These therapies can hunt down cancer cells wherever they roam, delivering radiation directly while sparing healthy tissue. Dr. Maha Hussein calls it a promising new approach that may transform metastatic prostate cancer from a terminal illness into a chronic, manageable condition. Yet despite these miracles of science, one sobering fact casts a shadow. Not everyone gets to benefit. The survival gap between rich and poor, between black and white, between insured and uninsured, is stubbornly wide. African American men still face a staggering 52% higher risk of death than Caucasian men. In some countries, basic screening is rare, and advanced diagnostics are simply unavailable. Now let's look further down each road. If nothing changes, if investment in research, public awareness, and health equity lags, the world will see even more men facing advanced cancer diagnoses far too late. That 7% increase in late-stage cases since 2018 is a warning shot. Millions could die not because the science isn't there, but because the systems are failing them. The hidden cost? Lost fathers, brothers, and sons whose lives could have been saved by timely action. But if we seize this moment, the picture could be radically different. The Biden cancer moonshot, already responsible for channeling over $2.1 billion into research, is just a beginning. With increased funding, experts project prostate cancer mortality could fall by 15% or more within a decade. AI will soon help doctors not only diagnose cancer, but predict how it will behave and which treatment will work best, essentially giving every patient a personalized roadmap to survival. Prevention, too, is stepping front and center. Public campaigns urge men over 50 to talk to their doctors about screening, and new imaging guidelines favor the accuracy of multiparametric MRI. Nanotechnology on the horizon may one day deliver chemo with pinpoint precision, eliminating the scorched earth side effects of traditional treatments. The consequences of action or inaction are colossal. Which world will we build? For viewers right now, what does all this mean? First, it's not just a headline when a world leader faces cancer. It's an urgent call for men everywhere, and those who love them, to get informed, get screened, and get involved. If you're over 50 or have a family history of prostate cancer, talk to your doctor. Don't wait for symptoms. Prostate cancer is notorious for being silent until it's advanced. New liquid biopsy and imaging tools may be closer than you think, especially in major centers. Ask about them. Second, know that lifestyle matters. Regular exercise, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, and a healthy weight can all reduce your risk and improve your odds if diagnosed. This isn't wishful thinking. It's confirmed by major studies. Third, if you or someone you love is diagnosed, remember, even metastatic prostate cancer is no longer an automatic death sentence. As Dr. J. Raymond emphasizes, even with metastatic disease, many men can live long and fulfilling lives with appropriate treatment and management. Fourth, awareness can save lives beyond your own. Challenge the silence around men's health. Share stories, support early screening, demand better health policies, and push for research funding. Public pressure works. The Biden cancer moonshot is proof of that. Finally, know your rights and options. If you're in a high-risk group, including African American men, ask explicitly about personalized screening. And if possible, seek out institutions driving research. They may offer access to clinical trials or advanced therapies not widely available yet. So, does the flood of technology, investment, and awareness truly promise to narrow the survival gap? Or are we doomed to a future where the rich survive and everyone else is left behind? Here's the raw truth. Science alone can't fix inequality. A miracle test is useless if you can't afford it. A life-saving drug is just a headline if your health system doesn't cover it. But this is key. When technology is matched with political will, public investment, and a relentless push for equity, the gap can close. History proves it. Childhood leukemia, once a near-certain killer, is now treatable in most of the world because investment went hand in hand with public health priorities. Prostate cancer can follow the same path. We're living through a revolution in cancer care, but the benefits will only reach everyone if we make it happen. That means voting for leaders who prioritize health equity, supporting organizations that fight for access, and, on a personal level, making sure you, your family, and your community are equipped with the latest knowledge and resources. Here's the secret most people don't realize. Many late-stage prostate cancer deaths aren't due to biology. They're due to policy. Where you live, what you earn, the color of your skin. These factors still influence your odds more than the latest research breakthrough. But that can change, and it starts with awareness, advocacy, and action, right now. So let's turn Biden's diagnosis into more than news. Let's turn it into momentum, a springboard for change. Share this video, start a conversation, ask tough questions, and above all, don't wait. Take control of your health and push for a future where prostate cancer is beatable for everyone, not just the lucky few. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay informed, and if this matters to you,